You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. We have learned that Seth Dardar is coming back to Louisiana. Mandeville native, went to Holy Cross, started his career at Columbia, went to Kansas State, now finish up his career at LSU. Seth's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes now. Seth, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing awesome. Hey, let's start with some of the who, what, where, when, why, how. Why did you decide to go back into the portal this year after your season at K-State?
Honestly, I was really looking to come back home to LSU, if I'm being honest with you. And so I got in the portal on Thursday, and I just waited for the call from LSU. I really wasn't answering anybody else. And so when Coach Jordan called me, I was super happy. And then right thereafter, Coach Johnson called me, and we talked. And I really committed to LSU about an hour after I entered the portal. I waited a couple of days to announce it, but I was pretty set on coming home and really just being with my family, letting them watch me play, and then all my friends, and obviously the whole LSU fan base and everybody. So I'm super excited.
I love that, man. I was going to ask when LSU reached out, but I guess it took about an hour for that. I mean, I'm sure they were just sitting there like Jay. They're just sitting there hitting refresh on the portal. Over, like, where's Dardar? Where's Dardar? Where's there? There it is. Did anybody else reach out to you?
Yeah, pretty much like a minute after my name got entered into the portal, it was like Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Texas, like everyone was reaching out to me, and I was like, where is LSU? Like, come on, like, please just call me. And so it was kind of funny. Coach Simpson DM'd me on Twitter asking for my phone number, and like a minute after I responded, I got another phone call. So I was thinking it was him, and I answered, and it wound up being, I think, like TCU. And I was like, oh, no, what if they call while I'm on the phone? And then Coach Jordan wound up calling while I was on the phone with TCU, and I didn't want to be rude and hang up or anything. So I finished out that call, and Coach Jordan was texting me like, what are you doing, man? Answer the phone. So I called him right back, and I was like, I'm sorry. Like I was trying to wait for you.
Did you already have a relationship with Coach Jordan or anybody on the LSU staff?
When I was in the portal after my junior year at Columbia, so I knew I was going to go back my senior year at Columbia and finish there and graduate, but the Ivy League doesn't allow like graduate players, I guess. So I was looking for a fifth year, and I kind of talked with Coach Johnson a little bit and Coach Jordan, but nothing ever really culminated. And so I wound up going up to Kansas State. So that's kind of how I had a relationship with them before.
So you have, correct me if I'm wrong here, it's just I'm going through the timeline. So you have the extra year because of COVID?
So I have a couple extra years. So I had an extra year because of my freshman year was COVID. Then my sophomore year, I had only gotten like 10 or 15 at-bats, and I got Tommy John surgery, so I had season-ending surgery. And then my senior year, I also got season-ending surgery on my hip before the season even started. So that's how I have extra years of eligibility.
Got it. Were you pitching at all?
No, I wasn't. I've always played infield.
How'd you get TJ?
To be honest, my elbow hurt since like my freshman year of high school, and I played through it. And then I went and played summer ball out in California after my freshman year, or my non-existent freshman season, I guess you could say, because of COVID. And it hurt the whole year out there. And then finally I went to the doctor, and they were like, I don't know how you've been throwing. Your UCL is completely torn.
Wow.
So
I guess when you're not throwing 100 pitches a week or every 5 days, maybe you can get through it as an infielder, but man, that's still pretty incredible. Seth Dardar is our guest. You'll follow him on Twitter at @SDardar_. Kansas State transferring to LSU for his final season. I was going to ask why LSU. It seems pretty self-explanatory, but I'll ask it anyway. So why LSU?
Yeah, I mean, I've been an LSU fan since I was 3 years old and first started playing baseball, and it's really always been a dream to come to LSU. And after I didn't get to go to LSU out of high school, I went off to Columbia. It kind of just seemed like something that really wasn't a possibility, I guess you could say, but I still was an LSU fan and still looked up to the guys that played at LSU. And then coming full circle now, like I realized I might have an opportunity to come home and play, so I really just wanted to go in the portal and kind of bet on myself and take that chance, and I'm really glad it worked out.
Seth, you mentioned that as a high schooler coming out, you didn't have the opportunity to go to LSU. What was your high school recruitment like?
So I actually did talk to Nolan Kane a little bit while I was in high school, while he was still here at LSU. And then I didn't play really any showcase ball. I went to Jesuit first before I transferred to Holy Cross. So I played summer ball, like Legion ball with them. Talked to some smaller schools, I guess. Went out to one camp at Stanford, and I think Brown University was there, and they really were interested in me, wanted me to go on a visit, and invited me to another camp up in the Northeast called like the Honor Roll Camp, and there was 100 schools there. And so I go to that camp, started getting a lot more interest. Pretty much all the Ivy League schools were interested in me, and Columbia was one of the schools that had been winning in the past, and so that's kind of why I chose them. I got to go there for basically nothing. I don't have to pay any student loan debts or anything like that, so that was a big reason why I chose to go up there and get my degree from there.
So you got a degree from Columbia?
Yes, sir. I got an engineering degree from Columbia.
Got it. All expenses paid engineering degree at Columbia. Did you get your MBA at K-State?
I didn't finish my MBA, but I started my MBA.
Will you be able to finish it at LSU?
I think so, yes, sir.
That's not a bad gig, Seth. Like that's a pretty good path forward if you can make it work. So walk me through a little bit how you had the injuries that you mentioned. Tommy John had the hip injury. By the way, how did you hurt your hip?
It literally just randomly started hurting one day. I was hitting before practice. My hip started bugging me, and it just continuously got worse for the next 2 weeks to where it hurt. I couldn't even walk. So then I finally went to the doctor, and it was a torn hip labrum. Yeah.
So how, from that point as a freshman to now, what would you say are the ways that you've developed from a guy that didn't have the LSU interest in high school, but obviously now one of the more coveted guys in the portal?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, I'd have to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus, because throughout all those hardships and the times that I wasn't even able to get out on the field and all the rehab and stuff, there was definitely some like low points and times where I didn't even know if I was going to be able to continue playing baseball. And so I definitely had to lean on him a lot and trust that like God had a plan for me and keep pushing through. And then obviously having all the downtime, I was able to work on different things, whether it was physically, like getting in the gym and working upper body, like when I had a knee surgery and a hip surgery, or even lower body when I had my elbow surgery. And then sitting out all that time, I was able to watch, whether it was our games at Columbia in person or even on TV. I had extra time to like just watch, and I was watching a lot of LSU games too at the time. I'm still a fan. So I think just watching baseball and trying to learn and soak everything in as much as I can. And then, I don't know, now it's last year I got to go to K-State, and I'm super, super thankful for everything they did for me. And I love the coaching staff over there. I love all the guys. And Manhattan campus really treated me well. And it was another year where I was able to grow and not just grow as a player, but as a person, and grow in my faith and everything. And so now I feel like everything kind of that I've been through has led me to this point, and I'm super thankful that I know, like, I'm ready now to take that step and come to LSU.
326 with 13 bombs this year at Kansas State. What position do you expect to play at LSU?
Coach Johnson asked me what I prefer, because at Columbia I played third base, and then this past year at Kansas State I played about 20 games at first and about 30 at second base. And I told him I just want to hit. I said he can do whatever he wants with me. Throw me in the outfield, put me at DH, throw me anywhere in the infield. I don't care. I'll make plays. I'll do whatever. I just want to get in the lineup and hit.
Are you most comfortable some way? I mean, it's what's interesting, because Ethan Fry will have a decision to make, but it sounds like he's probably going to come back, and he's similar, right? I mean, he could play first, he could play left, he could play different spots. But is there a spot on the infield where you're more comfortable?
I would say second base.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, yeah. Dickinson will be gone. I mean, LSU's going to replace basically the whole infield except for Milam. So there's going to be spots up for grabs. It makes a lot of sense. So, Seth, walk me through what your summer is like before you get to LSU for fall ball. What are the plans?
So I'm home right now. I'm trying to soak in this time with my family and stuff and have a good time. But Saturday I'm leaving. I'm going to Newport, Rhode Island to play for the Newport Gulls. And I'll be out there for a month. I'm trying to get about 20 to 30 games in, like around 100 at-bats. And then I want to come back and start training and get my body right with like the way my career's gone and kind of been riddled with injuries, I really just want to come home and train at the end of the summer and hit the ground running at 100% when the fall comes.
You be watching the Tigers in Omaha?
Absolutely. I was texting Coach Jordan and Coach Johnson today saying we're going to be watching every pitch, cheering y'all on. So,
what was it like being in the other purple dugout back in Frisco, looking at LSU on the field opposite you?
Well, I mean, I'm super competitive, so I really wanted to win the game, and we had a couple chances to do it, and I mean, LSU came out with the win, but it was crazy. And now that I'm committing to LSU and coming back home, it's really a full circle moment, and I'm super excited.
You never got to. I'm just doing the math here. You never got to face Kade Anderson in high school. I think y'all, if you did 6 years, you're done 5 years in college, you wouldn't have missed him. But was it like homering off of Kade Anderson, who might very well be the first pick of the draft?
It was pretty cool. I'm from Mandeville, and Cade's from like the town over in Madisonville, and we actually have the same physical therapist. So I kind of know him through that. That's like our mutual connection, I guess. And the physical therapist was messing with me before the game, saying like, "Oh, Cade's saying he's going to throw you a fastball first pitch," which he didn't. But
liar.
He was like messing with me before the game, saying Cade's going to throw this, Cade's going to throw that, and I was like, "All right, I mean, tell him to bring his best because I'm going to try to take him deep." And then when I did, I mean, I think he struck me out the first two at bats, to be fair. And I just went back to the dugout and told our hitting coach, like, "Man, I can't see a slider," because I was chasing a slider. And then I think my third at bat, I wound up hitting a slider. And so I go back to the dugout, and my hitting coach is like, "What happened? I thought you couldn't see it." I was like, "Well, I saw it that time."
It worked out, man. Hey, Seth, I know a lot of people are excited. Man, a lot of people can relate, man. People grow up in the state, love the Tigers, dream of playing for the Tigers, and you're going to get to fulfill that, which is awesome, man. Good health, continued success. We appreciate a couple of minutes today, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.